Theories on crimes against humanity. History knows so many examples of crimes against humanity. Every war can already be regarded as an act of anti-humanism because many people, have died in every one of them. However, to understand the reason for such a radical approach toward other nations and countries, it is necessary to understand the psychology of people, leaders of the invading countries. It is this that has served as an aid to theorists who have developed different theories on the causes of crimes against humanity, about which this article will be about. Adolf Hitler became the most notorious atrocity in the modern history of mankind when he started World War II, which took the lives of so many people. Many historians have long tried to understand what the reason for such a radical approach to the extermination of other peoples is, and the answer was given almost at once. By analyzing the ideology of Nazi Germany, interesting points can be made. For example, the dominant theory at the time was that the Aryan race should be superior to others. This gave rise to the theory that often people could not get along with others and as a consequence began to destroy them. It was not only soldiers from all European countries who were killed by the Nazis, but members of the Jewish people who suffered, and it was the idea that all other races were unnecessary and that only Aryans could rule the world. Unfortunately, this theory is still applicable today, albeit in a different interpretation. The world is on the brink of World War III because of the same policy, only applied by a different man and with different wording, but the traits remain the same. As practice shows, this theory of the domination of some people over others is inextinguishable and the whole world has been fighting against it for hundreds of years. The other theory that explains crimes against humanity is the thesis that has been applied since ancient times. It is the trivial possession of other territories for its own sake and the destruction of the unruly. This was the reason for the first wars and disputes between states that intended to expand their borders and build a society that suited them. Other factors such as valuable resources, political gamesmanship, or the simple desire to sow and entrench one's ideology may also be reasons. Under the same pretext, Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine, under the guise of protecting the rights of its inhabitants, who were being violated there, and bringing peace to their own and others' territories. This part of the story is only evolving, and it is impossible to speak about the exact reasons and consequences of this decision, but there are more striking examples. A prime example of this thesis is the war in Czechoslovakia when NATO troops decided to establish their order on the territory of the former Soviet state. This led to the deaths of innocent people and is also a crime against humanity. A lot has changed since then, but what is unchanged is that the reason for intervention in 1992 is not justified, and it must be remembered that the consequences of such decisions are already irreversible too. There are many other theories related to anti-humanity, but all of them have one thing in common. It is human beings who control what happens in the world and their vices decide the fate of others. Unfortunately, as long as human beings exist there will be wars, which we should be prepared for and try to prevent by all possible means.